So there are a lot of tricks out there to outsmart the Facebook algorithm, but they can easily backfire and get your organic reach restricted. So watch out for these bad practices. Details inside the video. Hey, this is Chia from Brain24, and today I want to take another look at Facebook, this time at some common mistakes that can end up devastating the organic reach of your page. So these bad habits essentially help you game the Facebook algorithm, so they might give you a quick little boost in engagement in the short run, but since Facebook considers these methods to be manipulative, using them too often can actually get the organic traffic for your page restricted once Facebook figures out what you're doing, which it will eventually. So these bad practices for Facebook are known collectively as engagement bait. You've probably seen engagement bait type posts, or maybe you've even created or engaged with one yourself. In fact, one of the most popular types, comment bait, is directly about the Facebook algorithm itself. It is a meme that says, unless you comment on the post to bypass the system and then copy and paste it to spread it even further, you will only ever see content from the same 26 people in your feed. So this isn't true. You're not limited to seeing content from the same 20-odd people, although it might seem that way since the algorithm likes to play favorites. It's just a tempting form of engagement bait that seems to work. So another common type is vote bait, where a post will ask you to engage by commenting with your vote on something. And react bait is pretty similar, except that the post will ask you for a reaction instead of a comment. And comment bait, just like in the example above, is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. So the post will ask you for a comment and may even give you specific instructions about which word or emoji to comment with if you want or like something. So share bait and tag bait posts are also very common, especially in conjunction with social media contests. So these usually ask you to share a post or tag a friend in the comment section below for a chance to win a prize. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever use these techniques to run a contest or share content, but if engagement bait posts are the only trick in your bag and you don't throw other more interesting strategies into the mix, Facebook will eventually catch on and penalize you for this. So apart from using too much engagement bait, there are also some trigger words that can squash your organic reach. This makes perfect sense, especially if you know how the Facebook algorithm works in general. I actually explained this in the last video, and here's a link to it just up above in case you missed it. So basically, the Facebook algorithm, it favors content that will spark meaningful interactions or posts that will just get people talking and connecting with each other. So this is why Facebook reacts so strongly against engagement bait, eventually restricting the organic reach of pages that use too much of it, because this usually indicates that these pages share content in a way that just isn't engaging on its own, or that people otherwise wouldn't react to if the post hadn't asked them to do so directly. Needless to say, this means that the Facebook algorithm prioritizes content that comes from our actual Facebook connections over posts from businesses and other media, especially if they're overly promotional and sales-based. One way that Facebook identifies these types of posts is by seeing if certain trigger words were used. The problem with using particular words is that they can trigger certain responses from the algorithm. Sometimes this is positive, so words like birthday, anniversary, and congratulations have been observed to increase the reach of a post. Other times, however, using certain words cause the algorithm to automatically squash the organic reach of your post, and that's because these trigger words indicate that your post is probably very sales-oriented, promotional, and just a little too spammy. As you can see, the list of trigger words that can trigger a negative reaction from the algorithm is pretty long, and it actually looks similar to the list of trigger words that will prevent your email from reaching a user's main inbox in email marketing, thereby decreasing your open rate. So you definitely want to avoid using the words on this list in many contexts. Some marketers think they have found a clever way to outsmart the Facebook algorithm by misspelling trigger words. For example, instead of writing comment below, they'll use the number 0 or sunshine emoji as a substitute for the letter O. This might buy you a little extra time before the algorithm catches on. But if it means that you have to pay with limited organic reach later on, it's just not worth it. Plus, it makes your posts look like spam. So these are just a few bad practices that can really hurt your organic reach on Facebook. And instead of using shortcuts to try to outsmart the Facebook algorithm, it would be a much better idea to spend that time thinking of how to share content in a way that will just get people talking. Or you can find inspiration by looking at examples from brands that are doing this really well, which we will do in another video. Anyway, that is it for now. If you have any questions or something to add, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where I will be explaining how you can do even more in social media and digital marketing each week. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you next time. Bye.